Okay guys, welcome to an on-campus tutorial. This tutorial is for site lead, site administrator, and this tutorial is going to be about your site control panel. Now, if you've been using your site control panel for a while now, just know that it's gone through major update for you. One to just better, be more secure about things, and number two, it gives you a ton more flexibilities. So, with that being said, we've also added the NPC features. So there's going to be two NPCs that's available. By default, it's going to be these robots, but at the same time, we can also make those NPC customized to, well, whatever character you want. So, it could be, in Harry Potter theme school, it would be Albus Dumbledore or Hermione. And then, or in a space theme, it could be Neil Armstrong, or it could be one of your characters, one of your tutors' characters. So let's get started. So in order to access the control panel, you just have to go to immerse.n/admin. Okay. So and there'll be emails specifically to each one um, of the site lead. So our team will contact you directly with the login information, as well as the link to the website and a link to this video. Really, this is really a good reference for you guys to go back and watch to if in case you forget how to use it and things like that. So okay, I've already got my username saved here. Right, so test admin here. This is our login page, so I'll just go ahead and click login. And oh, I don't want to save that password. Okay, all right. So this is the on-campus game site control panel. You have the menu bar here on the left side. You have our logo here, and then logged in as test. Well, this will be your name or your school's name, right? On the left, you'll see dashboard. This just really just takes you to this home page here. My profile. This is where you can reset your password. And things like that. It was your username, your password, and then your contact information, right? And then this is a link to our Facebook group. Please join our Facebook group because we're going to post this video on there. We're going to post a lot of cool stuff on there, and mainly a lot of stuff that we've done with whether it's training, and then just, we really want to build community for after school programs. Tutors to share ideas to really figure out what's working and what's not working. So, this first top card here is actually your list of students. Well, students and tutors, right? So these are the accounts that are assigned specifically to your school. So you'll see their player ID, their character name, the school is assigned. Obviously, we're in Palm Elementary School. The account level, student, last time it was logged into our game, and some details. Now we'll come back to this because we'll have some information on this. And you can see me, I'm also assigned to this school. And if you let's see here. I'm already in the game. I'm logged in the game. If you guys can see me right here, I'm running around. And these are the robots that I'm actually talking about here. So this is Palm Elementary School. So this is our quiz NPC, and this is our survey NPC. Now, when I say survey NPC, it doesn't necessarily have to be a specific survey. It could just be a small feedback. And we'll go into more examples later. But it could just be that you want to ask your students how their day went, and have students respond in there. Now, once a student responds, they get a random number of campus bucks, and it just randomly gives them somewhere between 1 campus bucks and 5 to 600 campus bucks. So you don't have to worry about figuring it out. So it's kind of a luck thing. So, anyways, let's go back to our other window here. Okay, so that here's your school, here's your list of students, right? And then you should be familiar with this tool right here, set after school program hours. This is where you can set your hours, and this is where you can set traveling restrictions here. So setting your program hours is basically, what time do you want your students to be able to log into your campus, into the virtual campus, right? So if you set it, between 2 and 4, and the students try to log in at 5, there'll be a big screen that pop up that says, you're outside of after school program hours. Come back during after school program hours um, to play the game. This is really for those sites who really wants this kind of like exclusive to their after school program times. Again, because this Roblox on campus is really a big recruitment tools for students, right? as well as education there, and we're implementing educational components to it. So, and then you can set traveling restrictions. This is going to be default to no. It's just really this kind of closed door policy where, you can say whether or not other tutors can travel to your school site. So if you say no, that means your door is closed and nobody can travel to your site. If you say yes, then other tutors are able to see you on a list of sites to travel to. And now let's get into the NPCs. Now, the first NPC is the NPCs for surveys, right? So here it is. So you have the first thing you see is going to be enable or disable this NPC. If you enable the NPC will show up on the map in your game, okay? If you disable it, the next time that the game starts up, that NPC will disappear, okay? Hope that makes sense. And this is the NPC I'm talking about here. Let me switch back to the game. This is the NPC that will disappear or reappear. Now, just one thing to keep in mind is we can put these NPCs anywhere. By default, though, they're going to be in the middle of your campus, so that way you know exactly where they are. So let's say, for example, you actually want them in the art room, or if you want them in the science room, you can also put them there. So it doesn't matter where we place them. You just need to let us know where you want us to place them. Okay. Okay. So let's go back to this. All right. So NPC name. This is basically what the NPC is gonna say. So right now it's robot red, and the initial prompt is hey, my name is. NPC response. Let's get started. So let me show you what that looks like, right? Let's go back to the game here. If I click on this question mark, the robot's gonna say, hey, my name is robot red, right? And then there's gonna be a list of things for me to select. Activity feedback or goodbye. Goodbye just closes the dialogue and you can kind of just walk away, right? So it's just so if you accidentally click the arrow or the question mark on his head, you can click goodbye to just walk away if you don't want to take the quiz or sorry the survey. Um, let's see. Okay, so robot red here, and then hey, my name is. Great, let's get started. So if I were to pick one of those questions, or one of those, thing options, there I can think this morning. Um, the NPC would say, "Great, let's get started." Now, right now we only have one option, as you saw in the game, activity feedback. So this is kind of like a sample kind of feedback, survey or that we put in there just in case. You can always delete it by clicking this edit button, and you can delete survey/quiz, and it will delete the this survey, and you can also add new ones too. Okay, so now let's go ahead and add a question into into this here. Like so, let's say you want to add a new question here. Let's go to question text. Actually, no, let's add a new survey or feedback, right? So we got to give it a title. Let's do social emotional check-in, right? So the first question is just going to be, so whenever you add a new survey, you have to add at least one question first for it to create it. Let's do, how was your day? I got to start with something positive. Let's do amazing, amazing. Yeah, so whatever you type in here, make sure you type it in correctly so that, because that's how it's going to show up in the game. Amazing, great, it was okay, and it was a bad day. Okay, let's get that. Hit add. There'll be a pop-up that says successfully added. Click OK, and it's going to refresh, and you'll see the question show up on here. Okay. Now, if you go back into the game, let me switch back to the game viewer here real quick. Okay, if you go back into the game, right now you're only going to see the activity feedback, right? This is only one, so we just added that one. You're not going to see it appear yet until you go to the admin button, and then you click on refresh NPC questions, right? So if you click refresh questions, and it's going to say please wait, and then once it's done, you'll see that right here, and you'll see it appear right there, right? So it's almost like a live edit, right? So then when I click on that, something's going to pop, like, so when I select the question, the survey to take, this little like pop-up, this GUI or this GUI is going to pop in and say, how was your day? This is the question that we added, right? Amazing, great, it was okay, it was a bad day. Okay, so I'm just going to say, great. Thanks for completing. You receive a random reward of 60 CVs. So that's what they got. right? So they can only do this once a day, really. So if I try to take the same survey again, and I'll say like, amazing, great, you answered the question, but you already received CBs for the day. So that's kind of like, that's our way of not letting kids abuse the system, okay? So let me go back here. Okay, so let's say I want to add another question to this survey, right? So let's just add another question here. Let's see. Let's see. What should I add? Okay. Um, what time did you wake up? Actually, you know what? Let's just do something like, what went well today? Home, school, extracurricular activities. And you don't have to have all four answers filled in. If you just do three, it's going to be fine too. So let's just do that as an example. Add question, click OK. Let's go back to the game. And if we do admin, refresh NPC questions, and then we go back to here, we should be able to go here and say, it was great today. Oh, here, there we go. Here's the second question. What went well? Homeschool, extra. And notice that there's only three buttons now that showed up because we only provided three different answers. I'm just going to say extracurricular activities. Again, so we've already filled out this survey. They're not going to be able to redo it again, okay? Or at least get the rewards again. So let me go back to our other page here. So that's kind of the gist of it. One thing you can do though, so don't think that. So let's say you made a mistake on one of these, right? So I can always go in, or if you want to add a fourth question or a fourth answer, let's do with homeschool extracurricular activities. Um, let's see, friends. I don't know. Let's just add that in there and then save your changes. And the changes have been saved, right? So that's one change that we did. Let's see. And you know what? Let's go back to the game and let's go ahead and refresh again. Gotta put the system through the ringer, huh? And then once it's done, let's go back to here. Social emotional check-in. And remember, we made the change to the second question. Now there's a fourth answer choice is friends, right? So I'll go friends. And again, I've already completed the survey. I'm not going to get another award, okay? So let's see here. Okay, oh, you know what? What I wanted to show you is the ability to actually delete the survey. So let's say you're done with the survey, you don't want the kids to be able to take it anymore and whatever, right? Click edit. I mean, you can always repurpose the survey, so you can always change the name of the actual survey, or like edit all these questions, right? If there's too many questions, you can always delete like one of them, right? So if I click on this question, I can delete this actual question. If I hit delete, click OK, and the page will refresh, and this updates, right? This updates the game. And same here, same with the, actually, sorry. Same with here. How was your day? What went well? You can always delete that last question. Okay, let's see. So if you want to actually delete a whole survey, right? If you can just click edit, delete survey quiz, click OK, and we're all done. Perfect. Now there's only one survey, right? So let's go back to here. If I go to admin, refresh NPC question, and I go to here, there's only one thing for me to see now. Just social emotional check-in. It was okay. Home was great. Great. And I'm done. Yay. Okay. All right. So I don't want this video to go too long. Let me go back here real quick. If you want to change the name of the NPC to, well, it's the same process, right? If you click change the name of the NPC, hit save, do a refresh on the admin side inside the game, and you should be able to do that. Now, so that's the gist of adding a new survey, adding a new question, editing the survey, editing the question, or deleting the whole survey in general. If you don't want the NPC to show up at all, click disable. But again, remember you have to exit the game, and the next time you log in, the NPC will be gone. Okay. So the quiz is the same exact thing. So as you see that the layout's really the same, right? The only difference between a quiz and a survey is that if you want students to be able to proceed to the next question by answering the question correctly. So for example, there's a couple of questions here already. So there's already an example here already, like what letter in the alphabet do we use to represent vowels, right? So these are the questions, and the correct answer is the first one, right? Some A, E, I, O, U, and sometimes Y. Okay, so let's go into this game and actually talk to the NPC. If I talk to Robot Black, sample quiz, what letters in the alphabet do we use to represent vowels? So if I click on the wrong answer, it's going to say, sorry, that answer was incorrect. Please try again. And I'll click the right answer. Great. How many constants are in the alphabet? Maybe it's consonants? I'm not sure. Okay, but I know the correct answer number. It's number 2. And I got the right answer. Yay! And I was able to go through. Okay, so that's the only difference between survey and quiz. But what I do want to show you is where you can see the player response, so the students' responses. So if you go all the way back up here and you see the list of students, right? And let's go back to this details button here. This is my character here, Surf Code 11. If I click on details, it's going to take me to a profile page, so to say, for that player. Now, I've done a lot of testing, so as you can see, I have a lot of responses, right? So, for example, if you go to the quiz that we just did, what is the letter in the alphabet we use to represent vowels? This is the actual correct answer. It's on file, and it tells you the number of attempts. So the number of times it took me to get the right answer. So it didn't. So it took me to the second time to get the right answer. Okay, and of course, if we go back up here, social emotional check-in. This is a bunch of the things the answers, the responses that I gave. Now again, the right now, what we want to be able to do is give you the flexibility and the ability to view the student responses. And I understand that there's going to be, sometimes you're going to end up with a bunch of different, responses for the student. You just kind of try to sort them out. So part of our roadmap here, again, so this is where version 1, but part of our roadmap here is to really, really, be able to kind of like put this data together and then display it in a meaningful way. So for example, if you're looking to see, like with the social emotional check-in, right? If you want to like generate some sort of like charts or pie charts with that, you're able to, we'll be able to display a percentage, right? So like a percentage of players said, it went well today, or it was okay, or so on and so forth. So again, think of this as the first step in that process. But yeah, that's basically it. And the last thing here is the NPC for Quest. That's coming soon. That's not ready yet, but that is coming soon. Essentially, you're gonna get 2 NPCs just for this like little module here. And what's going to happen is that the first NPC that you set, you'll set some sort of questions or some sort of prompt for the character for the students to do, and it's this really checks kind of like this reading comprehension, like yeah, you type in the questions and then the students have to read it and understand what you're asking them to do in the game, and then that second NPC, so once the student completes the task the first NPC tells them to do, they're going to go to the second NPC and then they're going to talk to them, and the second NPC is going to check whether the students actually completed the task or not. So if they did, they get a reward or level up or so on and so forth. So that's something we're still working on, and that's something that you should be able to look forward in the near future. Okay. With that being said, I think this is it. So yeah. All right. Well, thank you guys for watching, and hopefully we'll get another video out soon for a lot of the new features.